Hello, Asheville. Welcome to this month's Post Creative Mornings AVL Late Morning Show. I'm sitting here with our speaker for this month, David Hughes. He's a musician and an engineer, and when you watch the video, you'll see all the stuff that he gets into. But today we wanted to take a moment to ask him the questions that we like to ask our speakers, so we get to know him a little bit. Welcome. Thank you for doing this month.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure hearing you speak and perform. Did some of your original music, and it was cool. Invited a lot of guests. You got to see the video. It's like David getting out there,
trying to
in the unknown. So the theme this month was Lost. Mm-hmm. So what inspired you, or what was the thing about Lost that brought this talk forward in this performance?
Well, I think probably part due to what Colby, the director here, was thinking and asking me, that I had basically spent some time in a bit of a lost professional realm. I was successful, but I was not happy, and I was struggling, and I was trying to figure out what my new path was, and that's kind of why he asked me. And I've, since we connected on this, I've been finding more of my path, and it's much more creative, collaborative work that's here in the area, and that's just much more exciting to me. Makes me feel much less lost. Makes me feel more present.
Having had a couple meetings with you thus far, I just realized something. Tell me if this is right. Mm-hmm. I know a little bit of David's story, and what he was saying, what you're saying about being lost in that previous trajectory path, wasn't literally what was happening, right? You were on like a steady path. You knew what you were doing. You had a steady job. You had all the right stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like a deeper lost.
Absolutely.
And then later, now you feel less lost, but you're on a less sure trajectory.
100%.
How crazy is that? That's like the dynamics of what lost really means.
Yeah, I had a great path that was laid out. I mean, that I created, but was laid out for me.
Yeah, you had a career some people would
I had a
die
career.
for.
I had, on paper, everything was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
On day to day, I struggled a lot, and as I've gotten away from that and gotten into less of a discrete path, but more of like y'all were talking about in the introduction downstairs, more of an openness to possibility, exploring opportunity, but not focused narrowly on this trajectory of that's where I've got to go, and blinders on until I get there.
It's like a re-invitation to what the word lost actually means.
Yeah, there are many ways to interpret it.
Or maybe like knowing you're lost, knowing you're not lost, but feeling lost.
I think,
and then switching that.
Yeah, I think the lack of path is something I've struggled to get comfortable with, but I have gotten much more comfortable with it as opportunities have unfolded.
And the music was beautiful, so if that's part of the path that's unknown,
I would say
that's what go for that path.
I'm trying. I appreciate that very much.
So this morning, what was the highlight of your morning?
Oh, without a doubt, singing. I mean, that's
which one? Which song?
So the singing at the end, where we were all singing as a group.
Yeah.
I did the performance pieces originally to try to share some of my creative muse and what I've been inspired by. But right now, the thing that's most inspiring for me is getting together with people and singing. And
how many people were on stage? I didn't even count them. There were too many.
Yeah, so we had Steve Davidowski, Jackie Burgess, David Schmucker, myself, Jonathan White, Tim Nylander, and Ann Griffey. So wow. You do the counting, I did the name.
I didn't count. I was just listening to their names.
It's a lot. And these were people that we hadn't gotten together to do this. This was hey, do you know this song? Can we play it in this key? Would you be comfortable just getting up and creating it in the room with these people? And that's what we did. And you never know. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I felt like it worked.
I felt it was happy. There was an atmosphere created. What I'm wondering, and what I think a couple other people are wondering, is why the song? Why choose that song? What's the story, or what was the...
Man, how long do you have for the history of that song? That song is rooted in amazing elements of American history that have, I don't know, the more I learn about it, the more inspired I am.
The song, for everyone out there who hasn't seen it yet, is the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Yep. Also, the tune is known as John Brown's Body, after the famous abolitionist.
I didn't know that.
Who arguably started the Civil War. Yeah. It is the Battle Hymn of the Republic. It is what arguably inspired many of the Union fighters in their fight to be fighting for freedom. Yeah. It became the one of the emotional pushes on the Union side that maybe helped.
Motivated him.
Yeah.
Are you in your fight for freedom?
No,
This-
pretty
in this
good.
new path?
I live out in Madison County. We've got.
Do you have to fight the analytical side of you?
No, I mean yes and no. I think it's a tool, and one that I will continue to use. But I can't have it be my primary tool, especially if I'm doing it in isolation.
Right.
Isolated analysis, I need to settle down on, and I have. So that's been good.
There's a lot of analysis of data these days, isn't there?
Aren't short on data, that's for sure.
Totally. And so one thing I liked about your talk, well, in a couple of the rehearsals, there was more data.
Uh-huh.
But the way you presented your talk was less data, less knowledge, more feeling.
Yeah, I mean that was the feedback I got, and I was thankful for it because our rehearsal was, hey, I'm David, I'm an engineer. Here's some data. Here's a linear story
Path.
that led me towards creativity. But the creativity was an afterthought more than the focus of the talk. So I was glad to get that feedback and abruptly and drastically changed my talk altogether.
Yeah,
Upside down.
and I feel like you required presence of everyone.
Yeah, very much so.
And it was, I think it was communicating in a different language. Because a lot of us being that we live in a digital world, a lot of us now base our understanding and our knowledge and our communication and our experience on data.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing the internet delivers data to us all the time, and we're alone. But when you get in a room full of people where music used to thrive, before the invention of the Sony Walkman and it became an individual
absolutely
iPod earphone type experience, you brought us back to that moment. I think that was a pretty powerful.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That very much fits with kind of the goal. I didn't get into this in the talk, but I do feel like we as a society have in many ways lost our own music, our folk music. The fact that we all can, and in my mind should, create music together.
Get together. Yeah, I feel like that was one of your challenges for the audience and for everyone. Like, get together.
Yeah.
Be with, like, there's definitely someone in your group that plays music.
Yeah.
Get lost.
Yeah. I mean,
sing and play.
As long as you are open to it and you welcome people in and you're like, look, I don't know what this is going to be. It may work, it may not. But let's try to get together and make something.
So we should do like a Creative Mornings talent show.
Sounds great.
Is everyone in on that? Creative Mornings talent show? I think it would be fun. All right, we're going to ask you some wrap-up questions. And these are 3 questions that we ask. And you just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh, goodness.
It's kind of like a personality test, but
I hope I pass.
Okay, what's your favorite time of day?
Morning.
What's your favorite spot in Asheville?
Wow. That's hard.
I know this is kind of a...
I'm going to say the first thing that came to mind. I don't know why this came to mind, but I've spent an awful lot of time in the Film Mechanic building, down in the basement, working with Blue Ridge Biofuels. And when I've gone back there, it's a very different place. It's a very different environment. The whole place has changed. But there's something about going back there that feels just like, oh, I had a role in this. I had
the
part
Field
in this.
Mechanic building.
The
right?
Film Mechanic building.
Film Mechanic. Oh, yeah. So you should do a show down there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an amazing space. It's an incredible building. But I like going down there every once in a while and just kind of being like, oh, I used to spend a lot of time in this place.
Some nostalgia.
Very much so, yeah.
So who comes to mind when you hear the word creativity?
I mean, I'm just going with who literally just came to mind, and that is my daughter. My daughter is, it's actually it's been very good to learn that her impulsiveness, that her energy, that her sometimes inability to sit still is an asset. And it has driven me crazy, but it is one of the things that helps her be an incredible drawer. She draws, she paints, she sings. She just turned 6.
Oh.
And she is yeah, she is a beacon of creativity. She's got it coming out of her ears sometimes.
And she doesn't even know what it is.
And she doesn't know. Yeah, she doesn't know yet. And it's very nice to see and very nice to have learned that the things that have driven me crazy over the years about many people can be just a serious asset for being a more creative person. Mm-hmm. So that's been, yeah, she is a creative soul, and I appreciate her.
It's a model of creativity.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. Well, thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. Thank y'all. This has been a pleasure.
I know it's a big deal. And,
yeah.
Thank you for watching this, and when we post a video for the talk, you can watch David perform and explain some of the songs he sang. And if you want to keep up with David, we can put a link. Do you have a website?
I do not. I am fairly inactive
that never
on the
came.
internet.
Okay, so
yeah,
you have to watch it. You have to be there.
Yeah, you got to watch it. You got to come by the house. Give me a call. I'm a man of the 90s.
We'll put his address down in the
fine.
bottom and
come on by.
Directions
if
to
I'm at
David
the house,
Hughes.
I might be playing in the yard. Come join me.
Or digging a sewage pipe.
Yeah, there's no telling.
All right, thanks. Thank you, everyone. Bye.